Good evening, everyone. Welcome all of you to our Tuesday meditation. And this Tuesday is going to be a special day because tonight will be the day before full moon of the month of May. So tomorrow will be the full moon day. And if you go out today in the night, you'll be able to see really a round moon. And tomorrow you'll be able to see the full moon. And so this full moon in the month of May is quite significant, at least in the Buddhist tradition, because we know that it is on the full moon day in the month of May that the Buddha became enlightened. Buddha became the Buddha. We know that before Buddha became the Buddha, and he was a prince, and then later he was an ascetic, like a hermit, and then he became the Buddha. He is called the Buddha only after he attained what we call the enlightenment or awakening. And it is on this full moon day, which is tomorrow, the month of May, that he became enlightened. So it's an important day in that sense. Of course, his birth also happened on the full moon day in the month of May, and of course he also passed away also on the full moon day of the May. It looks like he was enlightened on his birthday, and he also passed away on his birthday. Okay, so therefore the full moon in the month of May is significant. But what is significant? What can be significant for us is to understand the what happened when the prince Siddhartha, or ascetic Siddhartha, became the Buddha. The very term Buddha is not actually the personal name of the Buddha. His personal name was Siddhartha Gautama. Sometimes we also call him Shakyamuni. That can be his personal name, but the term Buddha is actually referring to the state that he achieved. And it is a state, a highly evolved state of the mind. So the term Buddha has the meaning of the awakened one, the enlightened one, awakening. And the idea is there is actually the Buddha was awakened from the dream of delusion, the dream of existence in that sense. Because all living beings kind of live in a kind of diluted vision of the world and diluted vision of oneself. We are all in a kind of dream-like state. Like we encounter many things from our senses, and we tend to believe the world exists as we perceive it. The world exists as we perceive it, and that's what all living beings believe. And for the Buddha, that is a kind of dream-like state. So to become awakened is to come out from this dream and to understand how we construct our own experience with our sensory organs, and not necessarily to believe that world exists in the way that we experience it or with the way we perceive it, but it's and understand the mechanism of the world as it is, and being able to see it with our wisdom eye is called the awakening or the enlightenment. So that's what happened to the ascetic Siddhartha, and we used to call him the Buddha after that. But once he achieved the Buddhahood, and he is no longer having an ordinary mind like other beings. So his mind is kind of woken up and penetrate to the reality of the life and the world, and mainly to the way we construct the world, the way we construct the notion of I. And once you realize all these things, once you saw these things with your own experience, and he's no longer ordinary being. So that's why we call him the Buddha. And in fact, there's an interesting story, and it happened at the time of the Buddha. And Buddha was walking on a sandy path, and then someone coming behind the Buddha noticed those footprints. And he really wanted to, because when he saw the footprints, he saw a kind of difference in the way that this person has walked. Because of course, after becoming the Buddha, and Buddha was full of mindfulness, full of awareness, and any movement he did intentionally. He did very strong mindfulness. So even when he walked on that sandy path, someone coming behind can really notice and see the difference of these footprints. And his journey was not like a hasty journey, and moving here and there, and but it's really placing the foot very gently and nicely and fully on the ground, on the sandy path. And when this person and saw this very, very different way that these footprints have been left, and he really wanted to find out who this person. So he followed these footprints and went to see where's this person. So after he walked for some time, he saw that that footprint is moving away from the road, and then in that direction he saw someone is sitting under a tree. And so when he saw this person is sitting under a tree, he saw it's very, his appearance is very unique. He has a very serene and calm presence and calm demeanor. So he really wanted to go and he thought that this person thought that this should not be an ordinary person. And and from his cultural background, he has heard about different categories of beings, like angels, divine beings, and then semi-divine beings, and also like a ghost-like beings, different classes of beings, were in that cultural context. So he was aware of those things. So he thought that this person, the way the way he's sitting there, does not look human. So he went to this person and asked a question: "Are you a divine being?" Of course, this person who's sitting there was the Buddha, and he asked the question, "Are you a divine being?" And Buddha answered, "No, I'm not a divine being." It's an interesting answer. And so Buddha was not a divine being. And then he asked, "Okay, but you look extraordinary. I thought you are a divine being. And in that case, are you a semi-divine being, like a semi-god?" And so they have a term called Gandharva, in Indian context, to refer to that kind of classes of beings. And Buddha said, "No, I'm not a semi-divine being either." And then he asked, "Oh, in that case, are you a devil in disguise, kind of demon in disguise?" And Buddha also said, "No, I'm not a demon either." And then, of course, he thought that in that case, "Oh, then you should be a human being." And interestingly, and Buddha answered that, "No, I'm not an ordinary human being either." And then this person got confused. And you are saying that you are not a divine being and not a semi-divine being, not a demon, and you are saying that you are not even a human being, ordinary human being. And who are you then? Then Buddha said that I am awake. Means, I am the Buddha. I am the awakened one. And then Buddha explained that, and all these different classes of beings have their own unique characteristics. When my mind has changed and evolved to the level that it cannot be classified into any available classes of beings. And even, of course, I'm in human form, but my mind has evolved to the level that it kind of transcended all categories of beings. So I don't identify myself with any category of beings. It is transcended. It is kind of going beyond. And the very term Tathagata is another term that we use for the Buddha. Is kind of gone beyond all possible categorizations. And then my mind has achieved unconditioned. It is unconditioned. So you cannot really categorize or put that mind into any classes of beings. And the only way you can refer to me is the Buddha. So that is how the term Buddha came. And then so this person, and of course Buddha gave that explanation, and how anyone can achieve such a state, how anyone can evolve wherever they are. Anyone can start anywhere, but how they can gradually evolve to a point that that person's mind is not conditioned by anything that's surrounding that in that person. That mind cannot be identified with any available worldly, divine, or mundane things, and it's kind of gone beyond, and it has become unconditioned, and that's the state of the mind of the Buddha. So it is interesting to know that as people who are meditating, at least to understand that that we can change the way we feel, that we can change the way we see the world, and whatever the way we see the world, whatever the way we feel, whatever way we experience the world, our general overall nature of our experience is not a fixed thing. It's not a fixed thing. It can be changed. It can be developed, and achieving the Buddhahood can be the peak. But as practitioners, whatever change we can make, whatever evolution of the mind we can make, is going to benefit us. Going to be really beneficial to ourselves and also to many. So the message on this full moon day, which is tomorrow, and also tonight also we can see the moon, and the very important message that we can learn as human society from the enlightenment of the Buddha is to understand the potential, the capacity that each and every one of us is having to evolve to change and going beyond our habitual tendencies of the mind and going beyond our cognitive biases. And of course, those things can be so influential, because we have been conditioned from our childhood, from our environment, from our schools, from our social system, from our media, and we have always been conditioned by all these opinions, all these categories, all these um, you know different knowledge forms. So we have been conditioned. Our mind is conditioned to large extent by many things from our environment. So therefore, most of our the behaviors are like results of those conditionings, and the way we see others is also the way we have been conditioned to see. But those conditionings are not necessarily have to be there, and those conditionings are not permanent. Some conditionings may be a little more enduring, more hard, can be like a hard shell to break. But the enlightenment of the Buddha is teaching us that actually we can be aware of them. The basic thing is to be aware of all these conditionings, and then we can change and evolve ourselves and beyond those conditionings. And therefore, it's quite liberating to know that we don't have to be as we are right now. We don't have to stay the way we feel right now. We don't have. We can change. We can evolve. That doesn't mean that we should start like being resentful to whatever state that we are in, and we are not going to reject the way we see the world, the way we um, react to the world, the way we feel within ourselves. We are going to acknowledge them first, and we are going to be very familiar with this, the way we see the world, the way we interact with, the way we feel, the categories we are using. And the most important part of our spiritual journey is to be aware of our existing state, rather than simply living kind of dream-like state, simply be living by the influence of the conditionings, social conditionings, environmental conditionings we may have, rather than simply living by them. And we start to reflect, we start to observe, even while we are being influenced by them. Like while we are behaving under their influences, we are still while we are already operating under the influences of these conditionings, we still become aware of them while we are doing them. And then that very awareness of these conditionings, of the different categories of people, different opinions about can be people, can be about places, can be about anything, and we become aware of them, and simply to understand that these things are all constructed categories. This the way my mind is working is under these conditionings, and then we can gradually when once we start to see them, and we can gradually overcome them. And that is the message that we can learn from the enlightenment of the Buddha. And one other important realization he had in his enlightenment is to understand our human experience, whether it is our happiness or whether it is our suffering. Our human experience is a result of a causal process, and our human experience is not caused by some other force outside of us. Our suffering and our happiness is not caused by an external power, or also at the same time our experience, whether it's happiness or suffering, is not caused by solely oneself. So it's so interesting discovery with the made that our human experience is neither other caused and not completely self-caused. Of course, other people, other factors, external factors play a part in it, and as internal conditions also play a part in it. But our suffering and our happiness and our experience is neither other caused completely and nor self-caused completely, and it is a causal. It's a combination of causal product. So whatever suffering, whatever happiness, whatever human experience that we are going through is a result of different causes and conditions, which can have internal, internal causes, and we can also have external causes. And when we understand this, our experience as a causal process, and then we can see, then there are places that we can introduce changes and then change our experience altogether. And whatever suffering that we are going through may have different causes, different conditionings, different causes and conditions coming from external world. And there can be certain conditions and causes coming from internal tendencies, internal perceptions, internal cognitive categories. But there is a kind of mix. But if we change any of these conditions and causes, and we can change the overall experience, and that is the the empowering message. So we don't have to blame anyone for our suffering. We don't have to blame any other person. We don't have to blame ourselves either. We just have to recognize specific conditions and causes that produce this suffering. And if we introduce changes to at least one of them, and then overall experience will be different. So the easiest way is to change the internal conditions and internal causes that we are giving to this whole experience. And if our suffering is coming from inability to let go, like our strong grasping, maybe we observe that we kind of loosen a little bit, and if our suffering is coming from our resistance, our resentment, our dislike, maybe we observe it and maybe smoothen it, and then and try to see the difference happening in the experience. So in that way, so the message of the enlightenment of the Buddha is that our mind can be changed, can be evolved, can be developed, and the way we experience the world may not be necessarily the way the world really exists, and therefore we have to make effort, like overcome this dream-like state by very keen mindfulness and very keen observation. And the way we feel inside doesn't have to be there all the time. If it is not helpful, if it is not comforting, we can change it. We can change it, but not necessarily changing. It's changing internal condition that we have some authority, some power, some ability to change. But every being has that capacity to go beyond who they are, and that's the beauty of the message. We all have the capacity to go beyond who we are right now. That doesn't mean that we are going to reject who we are now. We are going to accept it. We are going to acknowledge it. We are going to examine it. We are going to recognize all the, compositions of who we are, and then we can gradually work towards the evolution and a spiritual evolution. So as human beings, we still have another pace of evolution. That is the spiritual evolution. That is spiritual evolution is not going to happen automatically. It's not going to happen through natural selection. It's going to happen through our inner effort, and meditation is part of that effort. So I'm glad that you are all a part of the meditation today. So let us learn from this full moon day, what you call the Vesak day, and look at the moon tonight and look at the moon tomorrow night and see the full moon, around full moon, and then remind yourself that our human mind can be evolved and can be changed, can be developed, and all human beings, all other beings have the same capacity. Let us work towards that evolution, that fulfillment, that awakening. So we can do whatever small steps to go to that awakening, that fulfillment, and we can also help many others to do the same. So tonight we will take body, and in order for us to do this training, we need a stable posture, balance, and also not coming too much forward and not going too much backward, and try to find that nice balance state. Okay, with that state, let's do some subtle a few movements to create more awareness of the body. And these subtle movements that we are doing will help us to create sensations that we can stay in our body. Okay, let's do the first one. So lock your hands and then try to open up and then try to stretch them to the front as much as you can. Nice stretch. Give your hands a nice stretch. And then gradually we move it all the way up and give a nice stretch. Grow taller and then give a nice stretch to your spine. Very good. And feel the difference when your spine is straighter and long. And feel the sensations in your arms when they are stretched. Then we will do subtle movements. We will give a nice bend into our spine. Let us take a deep breath in. When you're breathing out, try to bend to one direction, giving a nice bending while we are breathing out, releasing the air. Breathing in, come back to the middle. Breathing out, we go to the opposite direction, giving a nice stretch, releasing the air. Breathing in, come to the middle. Breathing out again, going back, giving a nice stretch. Breathing in, come to the middle. Breathing out, going back again. Breathing in, come to the middle. One last time, breathing in, giving a nice stretch, releasing the air. Breathing in, come to the middle. Breathing out, giving a nice bend, releasing the air. Breathing in, come to the middle. Now, when you're breathing out, unlock your palms and gently bring them down, feeling all the sensation we can feel in our arms, in our palms and fingers. Simply rest them on your knees. Take a moment to observe new tingling sensations, the rushing of the blood, and all these subtle sensations happening throughout the arms, palms, and fingers. Just feel them as they're happening now. Be in your body. With this awareness of the body, we will now gently go to our meditation. We will only do this one movement today. I hope that this movement is enough for you to create enough sensations that you can stay in your body. Remember to keep that long spine, not to drop it, just keep it. And rest your palms on your lap. Keep your chin somewhat parallel with the earth. Let us listen to the sound of the bell to help ourselves to settle our mind right here in this posture, in this body. I'm going to ring this bell and do a chant to help you to settle your mind and come to your body. Throughout this bell and the chant, keep coming to your body. Keep gathering your attention inward. Throughout the bell and the chant, stay in your body. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Be in your body. We will gently relax this body further and further. We can enhance the relaxation we are feeling now by purposely relaxing all the tight muscles or any area where you find some kind of discomfort. If you wish, you can lengthen your breath a little bit. Take a slow, long breath. And while you are releasing, you can allow your muscles in the body to drop down, relax, and open up. Take few such long, deep in breaths and release those breaths slowly, allowing the chest to drop a little bit, the belly to drop to the front, and any other tight areas to open now. Just take few such breaths. With each out breath, keep relaxing, releasing, loosening the whole body. With relaxed body, let us now bring our whole attention to our mind. This is a good time that we can observe our own mind. What are the thoughts? What are the memories that keeps coming to our mind right now? We have been thinking through our mind all the day. We have been planning, thinking, remembering, but we didn't get a chance to look at our mind itself. Let us use this opportunity to simply to look into our mind and observe what are the thoughts, memories that are coming to our mind right now. Various thoughts, memories keeps coming to our mind. This is the ordinary mind. Let us now make an effort to change this flow of thought. Instead of these random thoughts, let us now purposely generate wholesome thought that we like to have in our mind. We can purposely generate wholesome thoughts and gradually guide our mind to experience a very wholesome state. We will generate thoughts of loving kindness. Loving kindness is the willingness for everyone to be well. Loving kindness is a genuine wish of well-being to us all. Loving kindness is a friendliness towards all beings. Let us now generate that loving kindness. Allow your heart for that loving kindness to arise. How good if all people, all beings are well. Let us open our heart with a warm wish of well-being. Just like when we see a smiling face of a little baby, let us make our heart warm. Just like when we see a smiling face of a little baby. Or just like when we are petting a puppy or kitten or any other pet. Let us keep this warmth and enhance this loving kindness and guide our mind to enhance and develop and grow this loving kindness. Let us keep wishing well-being to everyone, wholeheartedly, genuinely wishing well-being to everyone. We will start with ourselves, with this person living here. We will look at ourselves as another as one of the living beings and genuinely make a good wish. May this person sitting here be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. Let us expand this wish and direct this wish to this body. Let us take a moment to appreciate and direct this loving kindness to this whole body sitting here. Let us take a moment to appreciate and be attentive to this whole body. This body which has been helping us to live this precious human life. All the organs, all the systems of this body have been working hard day and night for us. Let us appreciate. Let us direct this loving kindness intention to each part of the body, allowing this whole body to be healed. May these lungs, which are helping us to breathe in and out, may this whole respiratory system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this heart, cardiac muscles, the whole cardiovascular system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this digesting system, all the organs throughout this digesting system that are helping us to energize our body, may this whole digesting system be well, be healthy, be healed. May these kidneys, both kidneys and whole genitourinary system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this nervous system, the spinal cord, the brain, the limbic system, the frontal lobe, and the whole brain, may this whole nervous system be well, be healthy, be healed. May this whole body, all these muscles, all these bones, and all these joints throughout the body be well, be healthy, be healed. Allow this loving kindness to travel to each and every corner of the body. Letting this loving kindness intention to heal the whole body. Be well. Be healthy. Be healed. Let us now expand this wish beyond ourselves to many others. How good if all other people feel deep peace and feel a deep sense of well-being. How good if they share the kind of peace that we are experiencing now. Let us generously wish for all of them. May all people who are connected to my life, may every one of them, our family members, our good friends, partners, may all of them be well, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us expand this wish beyond this close circle of people to all other people living in all other directions. People living in our surrounding area, whoever that they may be, may all people in this whole surrounding area be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful. Let us expand this wish beyond this surrounding area to all other distant places. May all people, all beings living in all directions, and especially people in many other parts of the world who are being suffering and been infected and going through a lot of pains and suffering. Let's take a moment to think about all these people and genuinely wish, may all of them be well, be safe, be healthy, be peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. Let's expand this wish beyond human beings to all other living beings. May all animals, from large ones to tiny ones, may all these animals and all different life forms, each and every living organism, without exception, be well, be well, be well, be peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. Allow this loving kindness to travel far and wide. Embrace all beings with this loving kindness, with no limits, no reservations, no boundaries. Pervade into every direction, embracing all beings, wishing everyone well-being. Rejoice this limitless love, this boundless love. Let us now gently take a few minutes to allow our mind go into a deep level of peace and stillness. We will now gently bring our whole attention to our breath and closely observe the movement of the breath happening right now. Let us be with it for a while, letting this peace to be deeper and deeper and deeper. Keep coming back to the breath again and again, allowing the mind to be settled, to be calm, to be serene, to be deeply peaceful. Gently come out of the meditation and gently put your palms together. And let us take a moment to feel grateful for this opportunity to have meditation in our life. Let us feel grateful to all great teachers who passed this wisdom from generation to generation. Let us feel grateful to anyone who helped our meditation tonight, including the people who are at home tried not to disturb our meditation. Let us feel grateful to this device that helped us to connect to this meditation, and to this bell, and to the chair or the cushion that you are sitting on. With deep gratitude to all people and all things that made this meditation possible for us today, let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining the meditation today. And I hope that you will look at the full moon tonight or tomorrow night and be reminded of the capacity that we all have to wake up to come out from our limitations, and hope that you can make small steps toward that direction and help many others to do the same. Thank you everyone, and wish you a very happy Vesak day, happy full moon day. Thank you.